Hello and welcome in to the Purple Fufu podcast. The Minnesota Vikings have defeated the New York Jets 22-27. We're here to talk about that. My name is Theorist at PFF Host, and I'm joined by my co-host, Bryce at PFF Rager Season, and Slime at PFF Vibes. Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing well. That game, let me tell you, was an experience. I was there in person. I'm so excited to talk about this game because I was sitting by a bunch of Jets fans and they were all a bunch of assholes, and I can't wait to explain what happened. Oh, it's going to be a good episode.
So you're feeling vindicated. You feel like you won something
Yeah.
over on them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I'm good, but I hate Jets fans. I think I decided that they're my least favorite fan base in football. They've surpassed Eagles fans for me.
Oh, yeah, easily. Like after this weekend, easily. Like, and you guys both know, like, I'm a Phillies fan, so I follow like Eagles fans on Twitter. Well, speaking of which, if you guys tweet at me this week, I'm banned for fucking seven days. So if you guys are trying to get at me on Twitter, sorry. Reach out any way you can. I got a burner account though. gotta stay up with the people. But yeah, after this weekend, the Jets fan are like top of the fucking list. Top of the fucking list for the hate group.
They were soft. They were like surprisingly soft. I thought for being like New Yorkers and everything, they wouldn't let everything get under their skin. But
right.
I don't think I fully understood like what it meant. Like when they talk about players wanting to or not wanting to, or being able to handle or not being able to handle playing in the New York market. Like I don't know if I totally understood what that meant until we played the New York Jets and we beat them on a close game like that. Because I like usually am able to tune out other teams' fan bases, I feel like, after games.
Yeah.
And we've had to deal with this kind of bullshit all year, right? Like people are whining about the refs and all that. But none of the other teams' fan bases stood out to me like Jets fans did. I mean, it was just like a constant influx of just the most insane, inane dumbassery that I've ever seen on the timeline. It was so frustrating. But, shout out to them for finding the cope, I suppose.
They were relentless with their hate too. Like
there was a lot of them too.
Yeah. Like Patriots fans, at least they dropped the matter, like the Hunter Henry catch went on for like a day and a half and then they shut up and we never heard about him again. We're still hearing about shit from these Jets fans. I don't even know what they're talking about anymore.
You're a Jets fan. Like, get used to it. Has this not been your existence for the last billion years?
Just because you guys are good now does not mean you're still the bottom of the barrel in the AFC East, because you absolutely are. Your defense is good, but your offense is ass, especially if you go back to Zach Wilson. Like,
I hope they do. That would be fucking hilarious. I don't, because I like Mike White and I want Mike White to do well.
Yeah, I like Mike White. I think Mike White has like the ability to be a competent quarterback in that offense. But yeah, the Jets still can suck my ass because you're the bottom of the barrel of the AFC East.
Enough about the Jets and their clown fans. How about the Vikings? Put up 27 points on one of the top defenses. Look, pretty good doing it,
Yeah. Here we go. We got somebody joining us.
Joined by our fourth co-host.
For all listening at home, we are now joined by Boof at Base Federal. Looks like he's still muted, so we'll give him a minute or two to get all.
I can't believe he's making it in time for review.
Yeah,
never makes it in time for review.
The game.
Yeah, no. The game was really fun. I went to it in person. It was a long day. I didn't get to really like experience like pregame or postgame, just because we left at like 6 a.m. and fucking had to drive the fucking light rail or ride the light rail, whatever it's called, to the stadium. And it was like a 40-minute ride. But overall, I thought I had a blast at this game. I was sitting by a bunch of Jets fans and they were trying to talk so much shit about Kirk Cousins because he was ass like the whole game, which he was. Like Kirk had an awful game. But when it mattered the most, he laid that dart right into JJ's breadbasket. and I flipped off all the Jets fans and I said, "Eat shit, Mike White. You're not going to come back and win against us." And they all looked at me and I was like, "What? You guys been talking shit this whole game. So now that I do it, I'm in the wrong." And they were like, "Yeah, we have a kid next to us." I was like, "I don't care. You're a Jets fan. Raise him to be a Jets fan. Have him talk shit. He's a kid. I don't care."
Yeah, what the fuck?
They took their kid to a hostile Vikings game. Like, you can take your kid to a Jags game. I saw plenty of kids at the Vikings Jags game. They were all Vikings fans. How are you going to take a child to a home Vikings game? That's like taking a kid to a home Eagles game. What are you thinking?
Right.
Yeah, I think that if I were in that situation, I like lose all sense of like decorum and respect when I'm at football games, and so I probably would have told that kid to suck my ween, and I would have regretted that immediately.
No,
but it's one of those heat of the moment things where it's like, listen, if you're not going to teach your kid how to be vulgar, then he's gonna learn somewhere.
Right.
At a football game.
Well,
in your presence.
I wasn't as bad as I could have been because I went with my friend and his girlfriend, and like she's never been to an NFL game before. So I was trying to be like, okay, like, but now looking back, I should have just been like, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna give it everything I got because this could be my last game unless I make it to a playoff game. We'll see.
I want to go to a playoff game if it's affordable.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
Too.
Even there's nosebleeds would be awesome.
Because like at the game, that's what that game truly felt like, a playoff game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, just sitting there, I was like, this back and forth defensive battle is a huge like playoff builder.
The atmosphere at playoff games it's just different. The type of person who buys tickets to a Vikings home playoff game, they are in it, and the fan experience is just like nothing I've ever experienced before. They've only had like one home playoff game at US Bank Stadium, and it was the Minneapolis Miracle. Like I said, that was a different game. That was a different environment.
I can't even imagine being there for that. My brother was there for that, and that's like the thing I'm most jealous of him for.
I lost my voice from watching that in my basement when I was 12 when that happened. That's crazy.
Because I was a junior in college when that happened, and I don't remember the catch. My friends and I, it was a 3-day weekend for us. And so we were drinking all day Sunday, and I was blacked out by halftime of the Vikings game. And then everybody was like, "Did you just see that catch?" And I said, "Yeah." And then the next day I was like, "Did the Vikings win?"
That night I had tickets to that game, and then I had tickets to a box at a Wild game for my dad's work. So it happened, we celebrated, and we were like, yeah, oh shit, we're late to the Wild game. So we hauled ass out of there. We sped all the way over to St. Paul, and we got there at like the end of second intermission, and people were like, "You came from that? What happened?" I'm like, I honestly don't remember. I completely blacked out for it.
That would have been incredible. That game was what really got me into football. Like, that was like what started it. Like, my little 12-year-old self was like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life." My dad's freaking out. My grandpa's freaking out. Are you kidding me? I don't even know. That year was magical though.
A special moment.
I think I said fuck. Like, I was so excited that I said like fuck yeah or something, and my mom was like, "Slime." She was like, "Quiet." Like,
actually, so that you bring that up, the one thing I do remember from that is my mom was like calling me, because it was like when it was the final drive, like this is the only thing I remember, and she was like, "All right, are you watching the game?" I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm watching the game, but if we score here, you owe me tickets." And I hung up the phone. And then right after that, Stefan walked it off. But then she was like, "Yeah, sorry, I can't afford your tickets." I was like, "It's okay." Wow. I was pissed drunk. I wasn't expecting you to buy me tickets anyway.
And you just hung up on her. You didn't give her a chance.
Yeah. You lucked out. You wouldn't have wanted to be in Philly for that.
Do you think that's how Rick Spielman made like trade calls? He'd just be like, "Take it or leave it, bitch." Hang up the phone.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, if we win this week, you have to accept this trade. Okay, bye.
He'd go on and he'd call somebody. He'd give him a shitty offer, dick slap the mic, and hang up.
Nah, he told Howie Roseman. Was Howie Roseman the GM of Philly when they drafted Jalen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He called fucking Howie Roseman, was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna shove my dick down your throat if you take JJ in front of us, and just slam the phone down.
Howie's the type of guy to like be like, oh, in that case, Justin Jefferson, you are an Eagle.
That's still crazy. Do you think that Howie Roseman and Eagle fans are seething watching Jalen Reagor catch a 38-yard bomb or whatever it was?
Oh, it was 40, and
40 yards.
Actually, no, I think it was 39. But I was like, so I didn't eat anything like the entire day except like snack food. And so right before that, we all got like, we were eating our food that we got at the concession stand. I'm in the middle of biting my fucking chicken tender and I see Kirk air it out. It's like, okay, that's JJ. And my friend Sam's like, bro, that was Jalen Reagor that just caught it. And I had to stop myself from just throwing my chicken tenders up in the air out of excitement. Everybody around me was like, why is this dude so excited over a Jalen Reagor catch? I don't think anybody there knew who I was. Otherwise, they would have understood.
Dude, and watching that play back is funny, too, because if Kirk had time to throw, if he didn't get hit on that,
that was a
touchdown.
touchdown.
Could have been a touchdown, dude.
It was. Reagor had his man beat because I saw it today where like it was an underthrown pass, so the safety had to make a different route or whatever. But yeah, if Kirk has a clean pocket and hits him in stride, I would have had to do the gritty on Sunday.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome. Damn, fuck.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
No doubt that he's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that bastard Ed Ingram's fault. He didn't have
actually, Ed's been kind of playing really good these last 2 games. I don't know what happened, but he's been good. Knock on wood. Don't want to fuck that one up.
This is what we've been saying, though. We were saying this earlier, right? Give him some time. And then,
right.
Like, granted, we did walk back on that, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I mean, the NFL's hard. It's hard to get up to speed coming from college. It's hard to get that game strength. You're facing some rando at like Arkansas, and then next year you're facing Jonathan Allen. Like,
come on,
you got to give him some grace to get up to speed. And
100%. And the athletic profile is there. I mean, he seems like he at least has like some kind of field IQ, a little bit at least.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need Quentin Nelson. We just need a guy that we can trust.
This is what we've been asking for, is like a guard that isn't like
that's competent. Like our O-line is competent this year. Even Blake Brandel in place of Christian Darrisaw has been playing really well.
He's
and
good.
I think that has to do with our O-line coach. Our O-line coach has been great. And I know we talked about this last week, but I think that's a huge part of the success of this winning streak that we're on is our O-line coach.
Chris Cooper is the truth.
He is. A lot of people talked pretty highly of him, even leading up to the hiring process too. So yeah, he's, I guess, kind of a gem, a diamond in the rough, or is he a well-kept secret?
I don't know, but I hope we keep him around. That's the only thing I'm worried about, guys, is that we're going to lose out on some of our coordinators.
Oh, see, the nice thing about offensive line coach of anything is they stay offensive line coaches until the end of time. Like Dante Scarnecchia has been the best offensive line coach in football for several decades, and he's been with the Patriots since World War II. I'm not worried about losing Chris Cooper.
I think that's where he learned the footwork. He's dodging the bullets. The war. Yeah, man. And then what about the Callahan dude? Isn't he still really good? The guy that was in Denver forever, and I don't know. He was going to be the Vikings guy too, and then
Brian Callahan.
Yeah, Brian Callahan. I don't know if he's good anymore, but he was good.
He's the Browns guy, isn't he?
Is he? Yeah, he's with the Browns.
Yeah, that dude has been leading the best offensive line for a long time. They turn like Wyatt Teller, some fifth round rando, into the best guard in the NFL.
Yeah, Yeah,
So,
and I mean, like Jedrick Wills, they have him,
Yep.
developed him well. You know, he's good already. But
and let's be real, they had I can't even think of his JT Treader with busted knees.
yeah, they made that work.
JC Treader, that's what it was. No, please fucking no.
I'm glad we've moved on.
I'm not gonna lie, I was on the Treader train for a minute back in the day.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad you're not anymore.
Yeah, Bradbury's making you eat crow, so
hope he continues.
Yeah.
He's been good, man. Yeah, that whole line as a unit has been just fucking really awesome. I feel like Ezra Cleveland's doing more than we realize too.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's like with Brandel over there succeeding, I gotta imagine he's getting some pretty decent help from his boy.
You if you watch these highlights on Twitter, either a big run from Dalvin or like time opened up for Cousins to hit Jefferson deep. Every single time you see Ezra either looking for work or just obliterating some dude on his assignment.
Yeah, I was when Dalvin had like that 21-yard rush or whatever. I saw this yesterday, but Ezra like literally was like looking for something to do, and he saw the linebacker coming for Dalvin. He was like, nope, and just like runs up and gives him that block. And I'm like, this is, everybody complained about him like being a tackle, but in converting him to guard, that it would be a bad thing. I'm gonna give credit to Rick for that signing. Like that's an under the radar signing for Rick Spielman.
Yeah, he's good. He was a draft pick too, actually. I think he was second round. He was
second round,
late second. He was like 80, 89, something like that.
This is Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Ezra Cleveland, he played like nothing but left tackle in college, and he was coming in at a time where it's like, oh, the Vikings need a left tackle. He's going to be our left tackle of the future. Great pick. And then they started him at guard in training camp, and it's like, oh, well, they're just trying to get him some work in. He'll move to left tackle. And then they played the preseason at left guard. Oh, they're just trying to get him some work. They'll move him to left tackle. And then every single week that passed by, it's like, what's going on? Why isn't he at left tackle? And then I think by the end of the year, people just accepted it.
Yeah. Hey, and it worked out pretty well. I mean, you know, you can't predict that you're gonna have Darisaw fall into your lap, but it looks like it would worked out with Brandel too, if it had to.
Right.
So yeah, Ezra's, and the thing is too is like I do think that for the most part you can take a guy with Ezra's athletic profile and make that work.
Yeah,
pretty much anywhere along the line, because it's pretty similar in terms of, you know, at least basic footwork, and you know, there are some different things you do, and there are different ways to, you know, read your assignment, but for the most part it's not that dissimilar. I wasn't super shocked to see that he just stuck at left guard, and like that was a position we still were in dire need of as well. So you know, it's not like it didn't fill a need. It was like
cool. Yeah, nice to see some stability.
And then we had Darisaw fall into our lap, so even better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like, this is the best O-line that we've probably seen, since 2012, 13. I don't even remember. But like, this is the best O-line I've seen. And yeah, like it's helping us win games. It's honestly helping us win games. It's Kirk is having a clean pocket when he needs it the most. And that's huge this year.
Yeah, they're by no means perfect. And I mean,
no,
Kirk took a lot of hits against the Jets, but they're doing what they need to do for this offense and for Kirk to succeed. And I mean, when was the last time we could say that was the case? Oh.
Yeah, almost never. Even in 2017, the O-line wasn't like really that good. Keenum was hucking up fucking 50-50 balls that were for some reason 75-25 balls, because Thielen was on crack cocaine and Stephon Diggs was fucking 8 girls in the locker room between drives. So that's why that worked. This is definitely the best O-line that we've seen, I think, really since fucking Hutchinson, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I like consistently see them showing up in top 10 efficiency charts and shit. And actually, that's kind of fallen back a little bit. They're more like top 15 now, but even that, I mean,
that's all you need.
How sad is that? But it's the best it's been in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I got a bone to pick. This defense, I thought even today, it feels like we lost that game because our defense let them march down to the red zone, and then they let them do it again within the 1 minute warning. I don't even remember what it was. I was so fuming I couldn't keep track. What's the deal? Because this defense is going to stop us from going far in the playoffs. It will be the defense's fault. And it's not like there's not good players on this defense. There's plenty of good players at every level. What's going wrong? What do you guys think?
We have a lot of aging veterans on the defense, and it's starting to show. I think that's part of the problem. Also, the scheme is, I'm going to be honest, like, we can't just blame it on the players. We have to start blaming the scheme. Like, I'm sorry, like, you have Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith is leading the league in pressures. So why the hell are you not sending him more? Why are you not sending Daniil Hunter I get that they're both outside linebackers, but they're great. Like, I'm so jumbled up with words. Like, why the hell are you not sending either one of those in pressures? Like, you have to get to the quarterback. That's the thing.
It was a leading question. I absolutely hate the coaching. You're right that our veterans are aging, but like Harrison Smith looks good. He is a above average starter. Patrick Peterson is 32. And he is having his best season since 2018 when he hit the Pro Bowl. Like you said, Eric Kendricks, while a little slower, is still Eric Kendricks. He stinks.
I wouldn't say he stinks.
He's on his way to washed.
I wouldn't say he stinks, but I wouldn't go that far, but I will say he's not the Eric Kendricks we've seen in the past.
Okay. So he stinks. Is it because he's it's like snail pace slow?
Yes,
he's a lot slower than he used to be.
He's a lot slower.
But he still reads like faster than any other linebacker in the league.
He can't get there.
His brain's there, but his body's not. His brain is like old people. Just old people.
So I'm gonna bring this up because I think it was Luke Broad who posted it.
Wrinkling.
But Brian Asamoah just needs to get more playing time because that man is quick as fuck and can shoot the gaps. Honestly, yeah, I think that Eric Kendricks is just too slow to be playing in our defense.
Brian Asamoah is like a good point. He's taking oh God, what's his name?
Hicks.
I forget how. No, it's Jordan Hicks. I was thinking Jordan Brooks. I'm like, it's not the Seahawks guy. He's going to take Jordan Hicks's job next year. I mean, we know that Jordan Hicks is slow as shit. He's gone. He had a 1-year contract, low risk, whatever. Did his job. Eric Kendricks is probably going to be around next year. And like Asamoah will take his job. That's great. They're not going to, are they really going to invest a 1st-round pick into like linebacker to replace him? They're not going to do that. There's not a linebacker.
Not this year. This year.
I think again, I wouldn't totally brush it under the table. I think the problem with this team right now is the linebackers. Like, because we're getting smoked in the run game, and that's not because our D line is bad. Harrison Phillips and Dalvin Tomlinson and Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith have all played very well. Patrick Jones has played very well. James Lynch has played very well. Jordan Hicks, Brian Asamoah, and Eric Kendricks have played like shit and have not been able to fill a run gap to save their lives. The corners suck at tackling. That's going to get better if Caleb Evans can stay on the field because he's kind of good. But yeah, Dantzler's got to get better at that too. So tackling really is the problem, I think, right now. But the linebackers, it starts there because they're just they can't do the dual stuff well enough. Brian Asamoah is like a chicken with his head cut off, and then Eric Kendricks is like my grandmother. So I don't know what you choose.
To be fair, I don't think Brian he's not getting a lot of playing time. When he does get playing time, he does make tackles. I don't know what you're seeing from Asamoah, but from what I saw at the game on Sunday, like when he's in, like when he's on for defense, he like is a ball hawk and tracks that ball like no other.
He's good. His problem right now is that he doesn't hit the hole right. He's just missing run fits, which makes sense. He's a rookie,
right?
But he's not ready to take either of those guys' jobs.
Right. I do think he can get there. I think he will get there. Like I like him. Like he seems like he has some dog in him. He's very good on special teams. But you to start in the NFL, especially on a team that is, theoretically a Super Bowl contender, like you got to be able to play smart too, because Donatel's system is not super conducive to a guy that runs around like crazy if he's not willing to call plays that are cohesive with that skills, that play style. So, we'll see.
I mean, he looks better every time we see him. He, like I said, he's going to take Hicks's job next year. It's a matter of what's going to happen with Kendricks, because I believe that he's slow, but hearing that he is the problem because of his athleticism, that's like, that feels like at least news to me. I believe all of you when you say that.
Well, and it's not the only thing. Like,
no, you're right.
Too has got to fucking figure some shit out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like when playoffs come around, like we're gonna be playing the best of the best, unless it's like the AFC South and we have to go up against the fucking Falcons or whatever. But this defense, like you said, Theorist, this defense is going to be our Achilles heel come playoff time, unless fucking Donatel can figure out how to get his head out of his ass and start calling good defensive plays. Like this, I don't know, man. I was excited for the Donatel hire at first, and now I'm over the Donatel experience. Like, hand off play calling to somebody else.
So here's something that I have thought a lot about with Ed Donatel. This is his first time as like the guy on defense. Every previous job he has had under Vic Fangio, or he's been like a position coach. I think he had like a defensive coordinator job in like 2004 through 6 under like Raw Morris, maybe. But like, this is the first time in a long time when it's been his defense. He doesn't change his approach depending on who his players are. He's calling plays like he's still got Kyle Fuller and Eddie Jackson and Adrian Amos back there. He doesn't. He's got Harrison Smith and Patrick Peterson, which that's great, but he's treating Cam Bynum like he's got Eddie Jackson, like all pro Eddie Jackson back there. And like, Bynum has made good plays sometimes. He's made huge fuck ups other times. And like, it's very visible when you see that. And then like, going back to corners, you have Duke Shelley. Like, yeah, like when you have a Caleb Evans, he's been like good for a 4th round rookie. You've had Duke Shelley most of the time, and you are not protecting him.
But I will say Duke Shelley shows out in the end zone, or like his red zone defense is kind of good, especially in the end zone.
He shows out on the goal line, but he gets cooked everywhere else.
But like, if you think about it, that's kind of how our fucking defense is though this year. Like, getting cooked midfield, but then come red zone time, we're shutting them down at the goal line. Like, and that's not going to cut it come playoffs. It's just not. Like,
no, good teams are going to score touchdowns.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot on us, especially like if it all works out and they get to the Super Bowl. Chiefs are going to hang 60 on this defense. Yeah,
no, this team. Yeah, I'm not believing Super Bowl anything really yet.
Yeah, not me anymore.
I am. Nope. I'm still going to be the homerism in me tells me it's going to happen.
We need you. We need your positive voice. You're not getting it from me.
Bryce does not strive for accuracy.
Hell no. But I listen. Who was it? I can't remember who tweeted about it, but somebody said that 2009, or not the 2009 Giants, the Giants that played the Patriots, was that the 2008
They did it twice. Was it the first or the second one?
I think it was the second one, where they had like a low score, like the differential was like the same as ours right now. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucking feeding into this. Like, call me a homer. I don't care. Like, this is the most fun I've had with the season in a while. So I'm gonna ride it. Ride that wave.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, those Giants were 9-7. Anything can happen.
True. I will say though, I'm getting a little bit tired of watching the same game every single week.
Yep.
And really watching the same 2 games every single week for the last 4 or 5 years, it feels like, where it's either really close and we barely squeak it out, or we get shit on by a team that's way better than us. And luckily those games have been few and far between this year, which is cool. But the rest of the games have remained that pace of absolute chaos that sends me into a deep well of confusion and surreality. Anyone else feeling like that? Anybody feeling that way?
Yeah.
No,
I'm tired of it.
I agree with everything, but I'm going to open a can of worms here. All right. So now just hear me out, because I know I'm going to get some questions for this. Was Zimmer an actual good offensive coordinator? Like, was he a good offensive call player? Because whatever, I don't know. Like Kirk has been playing like not what we've seen the last couple of years. So like, was there something Zimmer was doing to get Kirk like to throw these bombs, or is it just the play calling that O'Connell's doing? Like I'm just curious as to what you guys think.
Zimmer was not the move on offense. I think Kirk himself said that he just didn't talk to like the offense. He just like ignored them.
Yeah, no, he couldn't be bothered. If it wasn't within his zone that he preferred, he would not do anything.
Yeah, that's not conducive to success. And I mean that there's a reason why they're 10-2 this year, and they were extremely mid under Zimmer with Cousins.
Well, yeah, no, I just find it interesting that we're seeing a different, like, we're not seeing the numbers that we've seen out of Kirk like the last couple of years.
You know, he's 34. So I don't necessarily anticipate or expect him to be able to put up those kinds of numbers like into his age 40 season. So I don't know. I think maybe he's just getting older. and also too, I do think that the scheme makes it harder to put up those kinds of numbers because it feels like he's I don't know if the numbers support this, but it feels like he's pushing the ball downfield more. Or at least the checkdowns are fewer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But at the same time, the accuracy thing is weird because it has been off this year.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, is it just because Kirk is trying to like, and it can't even be like he's trying to be more aggressive, because he like missed a wide open TJ Hawkinson on Sunday, like wide open. That was going to probably be close to a touchdown, but he completely overshot him. And he had a clean pocket for that. So it's like, what is going on with his accuracy issues this year?
The astigmatism's getting worse. I will take that to the grave.
Does he have astigmatism?
I think he does.
Really?
Like, that would explain why he sucks shit at night, like under stadium lights.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
And
yeah.
And the fact that it's getting worse like during the day, while it's not exactly getting better at night. Like that's my theory. I don't know. Get him some contact lenses. He'll drop 500 yards.
He needs that Jameis LASIK, boy.
There you go. I don't know. I think with Cousins, it comes down to, like you said, Slime. He's getting older. He is very much more comfortable in the pocket, and he's more comfortable in the scheme. He's more comfortable with the coach, and that allows him to just do what he wants to do more.
Right.
And he has never been the kind of guy to just push the field and take something that's not there. He has always been a bit of a safer quarterback, and the scheme along with better situational playing lets him get away with that, whereas he couldn't do that in years past.
Yeah, I think that like the scheme part is really important too, because it is year one of a new scheme, and it feels like it's a lot more shotgun this year. And typically Kirk has been a guy that has succeeded via play action and traditional drop back. So I think that he's still kind of probably getting comfortable with that. Like it's almost like a DeFlippo thing, but his numbers were good under DeFlippo. So. Which is goofy as hell. But, so I think that it's this readjustment back to that sort of shotgun heavy scheme,
right?
Which is way different. Actually, the exact opposite of what we did with Zimmer.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't. I just like that. It's just like weird. Like, yeah, I guess I never thought of the scheme being a part of it too. But I don't know. It was just weird seeing Kirk have all these accuracy issues this year. Like I'm not used to seeing Kirk miss wide open receivers. Like
he won't in the playoffs though.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think we're gonna see the Kirk that in the playoffs that we're accustomed to, or that we saw in years past. That wins the games. That wins the games. Not blows up under pressure.
Yeah. We want that Superdome Kirk back. That was
Dude,
cool.
yeah. I was so hard when he made that pass to Thielen when he dropped it in there. I was like, oh boy, we're winning this game.
Dude, that fade that he threw to Rudolph was really good too. Because did you see that he like fumbled the snap a little bit?
Mhm.
He had to like readjust real quick and like, yeah, that was nice. It was nasty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know we're gonna get into this later, but I think we're going to see a high scoring game this week.
Yeah,
from the Vikings.
We'll talk about Lions in a minute, but yeah, it should be a fun one. I'm excited for this Sunday.
Yeah.
I also want to make sure that it's noted in retrospect here on the pod that my score prediction was. Do you guys know how many points off my score prediction was for the Jets game this week?
Like 4, wasn't it?
It was 1, wasn't it?
1.
Yeah.
What was your final score?
27-23.
Oh my God! So
and I almost said 22. Nobody's gonna believe me. I almost said that because I even it's recorded on the pod from last week. I said that it's gonna be a weird game and the Jets are gonna kick a bunch of field goals, but I wanted to pick a football score, so I did 27-23. So it's 1 point off this week.
I will say Garrett Wilson is him. Like for the Jets, Garrett Wilson is a dog. Like,
oh yeah, he's fucking good shit, dude.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they can get a competent quarterback, if they keep Mike White as their starter, I could see them maybe doing some damage in the playoffs. But Robert Saleh said that Zach Wilson's not off the table as a starter, which I think is an absolutely terrible idea.
That's super dumb.
There's no shot he's he's still on the table as a starter. The entire team hates him.
Yeah.
I don't trust you, Bobby. Any other thoughts on the Jets game before we move on to shithead of the week and the Lions preview? Boof was going to say.
I hate him.
Yes.
Who do you hate?
Eddie
Donatel.
Oh,
Egghead Ed.
Yeah, I agree with Boof. Fuck Ed Donatel. Fire him into the sun. No, I did see a funny tweet earlier where it said that Brandon Staley is going to be our defensive coordinator next year.
Dude, that was fucking sick.
I absolutely.
I'm not like opposed to that.
That'd be sick as hell.
Yeah, I would love that. The Donatel thing, I'm over it. I would like to see a defensive coordinator that tailors his approach, tailors his play calling, tailors his scheme to the players that he has. And if you injure one of your starting cornerbacks or you're not generating pressure, that's okay. We're going to change it up. But Ed Donatel has not been that. And something that I don't want to let slip under the rug, Mike Pettin, he is still employed by the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings are doing the same shit that the Packers were doing, that the fucking Packers fans hated the entire time. Doing shit like dropping our edge rushers into coverage. I don't want to see that anymore. Michael, get out of town. Take Ed with you. Bring me Brandon Staley. That's all I'm saying.
But keep Zadarius with us. He's ours.
Of course.
You guys,
3-year contract. He's going nowhere.
Is Dom Capers still in Minnesota?
No.
I think so.
I think Dom Capers is in Cape Coral, Florida right now.
Hey, I will say, let's give some credit to our special teams coach because our special teams has been kind of kick-ass this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's been one bad game from them, but Ryan Wright, holy hell, what a punter he is.
Punt God is the fucking man.
And we have him for 4 years, I think, because we signed him to a contract as an undrafted free rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, it's so nice to have a solid punter for a while.
Yeah, now he's the Cluey that was promised.
Now, if only we could find a kicker.
Hey, he didn't miss anything last week.
Bro, Greg is so back.
Well, which means he didn't miss anything this week, so it means he's going to miss a crucial extra point next week. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, and we are in Detroit, so
that's true. It's going to cost us the game, probably.
And you know what? I'll still well, no, I won't. I was going to say I'll still love him, but if he costs us the game against Detroit, it's a little bit tough.
Yeah, vibes for Greg Joseph ain't here anymore.
So, are we comfortable with our our thoughts on the Jets game? Do we feel like we have everything off our chest? Are we happy?
Yes.
Are we happy with how the game went?
I am.
Overall?
We got the dub. Like, it's not about how, like, this is the thing that I'm going to emphasize. Like, it doesn't matter what the final score was. Like, I like gritty wins. Like, blowout wins are cool too. Yeah, those are cool. But gritty wins shows what this team is made out of. That's what we've been showing. I'm okay with how we won this game. It was a little too close for comfort, but we still won. We're still stacking those dubs.
Here's what I'll say on my opinion there. You're right. We did get the win, and it's important. Like, just find a way to win. It's also important that you improve every single week. And when shit's not working, you show that you're making changes. You show that you're getting better in some way. And they are not doing that on defense. As Slime said, we're watching the same game every week. And that goes especially for the defense. And I'm sick and tired of it. I want to see the defense put a team away.
I agree. I'm kind of getting sick of having to say like a win's a win, you know?
Yeah.
Like every week it's like, oh, a win's a win. It's a W. And yeah, for once I'd just like it to be a nice, like just a nice hearty W, you know, like a Seattle Seahawks from last year kind of W.
Or the Packers from this year.
Yeah, even that was week one. Even that was fucking week one.
Yeah.
We're on an 11-game win streak, or a 10-game, 9-game win streak of one-score games.
Yeah.
We're
10
that being said, a win's a win, so fuck.
I have some thoughts about what's going to happen this week. So just whenever we're ready to talk about this Lions game, I'm going to let it out. I'm going to let it all out there.
We're 10-2. Let's have some higher expectations than just a win's a win. That's all I'll say. That's my final thought on the matter.
A win's a win.
Attaboy, Boof. A win's a win. Boof knows ball.
I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Here's my outlook. This is my outlook. This is the most insight that I'm gonna provide all night because my brain hurts so bad. I do not care if we have the most fraudulent wins of all time going into the playoffs. It does not matter to me. If we can snake the 1 seed from the Eagles, I am not going to care if we win a game by 1 point or if we win a game by 30 points.
Amen.
It'd be cool, but like we're not going into an away game like at Philadelphia and winning that in the playoffs. Like as cool as that would be, I don't like we need home field so bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point about seeding.
Yeah. I think we will get it. If you want my honest opinion, I think we'll get the 1 seed. I think the divisional games that the Eagles have left, because I think they play the Giants still and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to shit all over the Eagles, if you want my opinion.
I think don't sleep on our division games that we have to play still.
Oh,
those are all very losable games.
Oh, I 100% agree. But on the flip side, they're also like we could maybe the Packers game, not so much as an easy win. But I think the other two are much more accomplishable to be a W.
Well, you know, the Bears soldier has bad juju. The Lions we'll talk about later, but they're on a 3-game winning streak. So
but who have they? I guess they've played the Bills, but they lost to the Bills, right?
Yeah, I think they lost to the Bills. That was a good fucking game, though, I think.
It was, but they just beat the Jags. They put up 40 points against the Jags. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Hey, we say all the time, a win's a win. You can only play who's on the schedule. So I gotta play it honest with them too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody's like talking about how the Lions are like their offense is so good, but I mean, they played the Jags and like the Jags. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think we're not gonna make their offense look fucking?
Oh, I know I told you wait to hear my thoughts on this game.
Oh yeah, you're right. We do gotta wait. Yeah, we do gotta wait. Yeah, we gotta save our pent up energy for that later. Yeah, there's so much.
No, we're about to throw. Slime and I are about to throw hands.
I'm looking forward to
screen,
it,
brother. Do the screen,
all right.
no peace. I think that we should move on to shithead of the week. It felt like it was quite a week. I have a feeling that there might just be one unanimous shithead, but we'll see.
I
people
agree.
have multiple. I am going to invite a very special guest for this evening, because she is still up and at 'em. So we're gonna have her on here pretty soon. We'll wait to introduce her until she comes on, but
Sure.
yeah, for now, let's tease shithead of the week and pretend like we don't all know who it is. I mean, I figure, do you guys have other ones too, or were we all kind of thinking?
I mean, I have another one. I
Okay,
can talk
cool.
about it.
That's good. We can wait until our special guest is on. But I'm glad that you guys have some other stuff. Let's pause. Yeah, let's take an intermission. Okay, so we're back with a very, very special guest and a groundbreaking moment for us here at Purple Fufu, our first ever international guest.
Yeah.
We're here with go for it.
I was gonna say, and unless I consider this our first female guest on the show.
She is, I believe.
She is. Because Cora was involved with our live space, but this is our first female guest on the show. So very groundbreaking moment for us. Everybody welcome Vikings WTF. We have Crying with us in the house.
Welcome in.
Hello. Hello. Should I start singing "Oh Canada"?
Yeah, we do the national anthem before every show. So it would be good. Yeah.
We have no pledge allegiance to the flag or whatever in Canada, but I can make one up right now real quick.
Just come up with one. We can collab on that.
The United Provinces of Canada.
Yeah,
I might need to workshop that.
Y'all don't do a good enough job propagandizing your children over there. You gotta take a couple of notes from us.
I feel like Slime may have a question for you, though. It's a question that always gets asked when we have a guest, and it's a very important question.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. So Slime, what's your first question to Crying?
My first question to Crying is, how's your evening going?
Sorry, what? I didn't hear
My first question is, how's your evening going?
Oh, my evening's going really nicely, actually. I went to a little Christmas market, and it was fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
how's your evening going? How's everyone's evening going?
It's going well. It's going well. So when you were, I always ask guests about how their night is going before we enter the pod, and it gives me I like to do this little exercise where I pick something out of their little story, your little thing. So you were at the Christmas market tonight.
Yeah.
Did you happen to did you buy anything? Do you see anything cool?
I saw a lot, but I didn't buy anything this time.
You didn't. Okay, so you didn't.
No.
You didn't have to give anyone your bank routing number or your social security number or anything.
No.
No. But if you were to, what would be your social security number though? That'd be crazy if you.
Well, in Canada we don't have social security numbers.
Oh,
we have
that's
social
right.
insurance numbers.
Sure. Oh, this is why I asked.
I did give that out.
You did.
I did, yes. So if you just Google it, Vikings WTF social insurance number, you'll find it right there.
Out there. Awesome.
Okay, so this is going to be a dumb question. I already know because I feel like I know the answer to this. I know nothing about Canada. What is your social insurance number? Is that how you get your free insurance? I don't know, your healthcare.
I don't know. Probably because I think the healthcare is per province, so you have a healthcare number. So no, I don't think it is your social insurance number. Your social insurance number just proves that you exist in Canada.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have a hard time impersonating you. I feel like if I
did. Well, you can just keep trying, and then maybe.
Yeah, I have to imagine that Cum Thomason took practice, right? Cum Thomason's real. I apologize.
Yeah, he made an appearance. He was our first ever guest on here. That's the funniest thing ever, by the way, that stupid bit that we did where I was doing the dumb voice and I was laughing at myself every 5 seconds. That was so funny.
That was a throwback. That was a throwback bit.
Yeah.
Crying, did you watch the game on Sunday?
I did. I was kind of being rushed out of my house at the end. But yeah, I watched. I mean, I feel like it's been like every game this whole season.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I'm happy. Obviously, we won, but it was a roller coaster the whole time, and I was annoyed a lot of it, but still happy for the most part. Yes.
I feel like everybody in this room right now can agree that we need to figure the hell out at the third quarter. Like, what is going on with the third quarter? Every game, it's like that. Every game.
I think annoying is the best way to describe that. I like that. I was annoyed most of that game. That was fucking yeah. Just they are such a
like you feel bad complaining. Because I was thinking too, I don't listen to other sports teams, podcasts and stuff, but are their fans complaining when they win? Like, are they calling the game annoying? I don't know. They might be, but
no, because they're winning by 2 scores.
That's true. That's very true.
And they're not letting the other team march down the field as time's about to expire and then letting them do it again, you know?
Yeah. So they're an enigma, but you know, they're ours.
And they're
no
10-2.
They're
Can't
ours.
complain.
Yeah. And that Super Bowl one day,
it's gonna happen.
Feel so good. One day.
One day.
When it happens, after that, I'm not sure that I'm gonna have like the emotional space to invest anything else into the team after like we finally get to that point. Like I think I'll be like, all right, I've had enough. I'm getting off.
Well,
new hobby.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen is it's going to be like, just because we know how this team is, it's going to be one of those back and forth games, and it comes down to, can we close it out in the 2 minutes, like the final 2 minutes, and it's going to be like, oh shit, is Kirk going to crumble?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins 2-minute drill for the
Super Bowl. Imagine. Oh,
I worry that my grandpa's not gonna, like, his heart and his pacemaker's not gonna do well enough. If we're ever gonna do a high pressure playoff game, I don't think he's gonna make it.
I believe in his spirit. I believe in his Valhalla.
The spirit is willing, the mind will follow, but the body will not.
I think if we ever win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl parade and then disappear into the woods forever.
All right. So crying, as a lovely listener, you know, we always have this wonderful bit on this show. We have a shithead of the week. All four of us have agreed to shithead of the week. But we want to know, do you have a shithead of the week?
You know what? When I received the message, like, hey, you want to be on Purple Fufu? The first thing I thought was like, oh my God, who's going to be my shithead of the week? So, but I have a question, because I do have a person, but could my shithead be a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Well,
I've picked inanimate objects before, yeah.
Sticking to the theme of Canada being better than the United States of America, my shithead of the week is going to be American currency. And I was recently in Oregon a couple days ago. And the reason that I think that American currency is so shitty is that you have $1 bills and you have pennies. And in Canada, neither of those exist. And they are a nuisance and they are annoying. Word of the day.
I'm surprised people still use cash. I thought we all moved on to credit cards.
Okay, yes. That's a little bit on me, but still, I just didn't want to use my cards because the foreign transaction fees are ridiculous. But I guess the opposite of a shithead. So you guys should add that to your podcast.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Opposite of the shithead of the week would be Target. I love that place. I love that place so much. It's not in Canada. It was in Canada for like 2 years. And then it wasn't the same vibe as an American Target. And then they all shut down. So
yeah, it caused a massive like collapse within the country, and like several thousand people lost their jobs.
It actually was pretty bad. Yeah.
They absolutely love tourists coming in, posting on TikTok. Oh my God, this is like Candyland. This is the best thing ever.
That's crying on our B reel, like in the American Target.
Look at this. They have Christmas trees.
I will say, crying is like adamant on getting her Be Real done, even if it's not right away, even if it's like 4 hours later, she'll be like, I posted it. I didn't think I would actually use it, but she got me to use it, and I post like every day now. So I don't know. It's just really, I don't know what's so cool about it, but
that's the perfect way to explain it, because you can't explain it. You can't explain why Be Real is fun. It's just fun.
So continuing forth with our shithead of the week, the four of us have come to a group consensus amongst the co-hosts. And crying, I don't know how it seems like you've been fairly busy lately, so I don't know if are you privy to our good friend who is now private on Twitter, Mr. Peter Bukowski. Do you know anything about?
I was following along a little bit with that. Yes, I did have a chance to catch up a little bit. I didn't see all of the drama, but I did see little tidbits.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that one almost, we're gonna explain it, but it goes without saying why he's the shithead of the week. It's a bummer though that he's private now, because golly, was he fun.
He actually isn't private. I can still see his feed. I think he just blocked every single person that interacted with that event. I was
just gonna say, when I checked again when I was just catching up not too long ago, he wasn't private. So
he's not private now. He was. I swear to God, he was private earlier. I swear
he probably was for a little bit when all that
shit was going down.
Jerk chicken was going, stuff was going down. But he's back now.
Yes, welcome back to Twitter, Peter Bukowski. I can't wait.
No, it's Peter Bukaki.
Oh, Peter Bukaki is up and running. Yeah, I don't know who runs that, but that's clever.
They had me fooled for a good 5 minutes when I first found it.
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna take credit for that name because I'm going to just say I didn't make that account, but I'm going to take credit for that name because the other day he was complaining. I don't remember what he was complaining about, but I said, shut up, Peter Bukaki, and they got like 200 likes on it. So I'm going to take credit for that name. I'm sure he's been called it before, but I just find it funny. It just rolls right off the tongue. I don't even care.
That is definitely a rough one to have. I hope he never finds this, because then he's absolutely having his attorneys contact.
Yeah, no, I'd like to say that everything we say here, real quick, I'm putting a disclaimer in, which means I'm thinking this is serious. It's all of the content associated with said Peter Bukowski, wonderful writer and news reporter for the Green Bay Packers franchise. It is all satire and or irony that we are not associated with personally. We are doing our job as reporters for the Vikings Twitter landscape, and we are making sure that everybody is aware of the situation. I do not condone what is happening and the defamation and character attacks against Mr. B. However, I do not condemn it because I'm a man who loves comedy.
Yeah, and I believe that it's our job as reporters to stay objective. We're famously integrous journalists on this show, and that's a reputation I plan to maintain.
And
it's objectively funny as hell. So,
and we fact check everything that comes out of our mouth. Everything that comes out of our mouth is 100% fact checked.
This is correct.
Did your multiple attorneys write that for you?
Yes, I did. Our multiple attorneys will be contacting his multiple attorneys if anything goes wrong. So
yeah, they're public defenders. So what?
The Fufu legal department.
We already have a pretty kick-ass HR rep that makes sure we stay out of trouble. So maybe it's time to add a lawyer to the bankroll.
Maybe she'll go to law school.
Crying, any lawyers that can help us out?
One of my good friends is in law school right now.
Right, that's a start.
We'll need their help.
Yeah, but I do think Canadian law is quite different. But I guess internet, it's all the same kind of stuff. So
we'll take all the help we can get. I got a feeling that if this goes anywhere, PFF, Pro Football Focus, will be very upset with our name choice.
No, they won't have to know it's based off them. We just keep it purple fufu. They're too dumb to understand.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why Peter Bukowski was my shithead of the week was because his constant, incessant use of EPA, DVOA, and PFF grades. Bro, it's 2022. We don't want to see that shit. Come on, man. Like, get this off my timeline. The Vikings are 10-2. I don't give a shit that they have bad EPA. EPA is a made up number. That is expected points added. Bro, that's some intern locked in a closet somewhere watching every play going, yes, I expect to score on this play. Or no, I don't expect to score on this play. I don't want to see that on my timeline. Get it out of here.
EPA is for extra poop in your arse. You fucking.
There you go.
Nah, anytime anybody is like brings up those DVOA or whatever it's called, the EPA stats, I'm like, do you even like watch football, or are you just like studying every play to run the numbers? Because personally, that sounds fucking like an awful way to spend your Sundays, is to study, to watch football all day and then go crunch some numbers instead of just looking at the vibes, seeing which teams won or lost. That's how you know which teams are good, by looking at the win and loss columns. None of this bullshit like analytical numbers, even though the Giants are frauds.
Do you think that they like the PFF guys? They like have their little spreadsheets out, and they're like the GeoGuessr guy, and they just click on little cells. Nice. DVOA, nice. EPA per play, nice. Oh, missed that one. Vikings bottom. Nice. Fucking dickweeds.
Yeah.
That's definitely what is happening.
Yeah.
I like when the stats support my opinions, then I just refuse to acknowledge anything else.
Well, I mean, the vibes of the Vikings are matching my opinion that they're 10-2, so they're a good team because they have 10 wins and 2 losses. So therefore 100% fact checked, like I said.
You can take it to the bank that if the Vikings are number 1 in DVOA at this time next week, I will be number 1 DVOA fan. I will explain why it is the best stat, why it is flawless, and why there is no better explanation on how good a football team is, because the Vikings are number 1 in it, but they're not number 1 in it. So DVOA sucks. It's worthless. It doesn't tell you anything.
You know what? The Vikings are not number 1, but you know what the Vikings are number 2 in? Wide receiver 1 receiving yards, because we have Justin Jefferson. That's the only stat I care about. So,
amen. Yeah, and Dalvin's a top 5 rusher too. Don't forget that he's in the top 5.
That's insane to me,
my man.
You know who's also in there? Justin Fields, because he's a running back and not a quarterback.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. That man has won me so much money. I hope he's okay, because I need more rent money. They're gonna raise it on me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of fuck with it a little bit. Like, it's kind of sick that he can just casually rush for like 150, and it's like a normal day at the office for him.
Right.
It's like when JJ just casually gets 100 yards. It's like, oh, just another day.
Yeah.
It's like watching Navy out there, but in the NFL, and it working, you know.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know. Yeah. But all that is to say that Peter Bukowski, I think, is by far the shithead of the week. What was he even saying? He was like on some massive copium shit, right?
Yeah, he was just like coping about everything, about how the Vikings like record isn't as good as or we're not as good as our record says we are, and all this bullshit. I was like, numbers don't lie, bro. We're 10-2. What are the Packers? Fucking 1-12.
Yeah, it was multifaceted. He was talking about how like he was describing the Packers' path to the playoffs, and at the end of it was like, so we can expect this to happen. Like, this is going to happen. But for that to, like, they would have to win out. The Giants would have to lose out, and the Commanders would have to lose out. Yeah. Good luck.
I'm so glad that I don't have to do fucking astrophysics to figure out how we're going to make the playoffs this year.
God, we could lose out and still get the second seed.
It's
dude.
He was being a nerd, and somebody called him a sex offender, and he like lost it, is what I saw.
Yeah, and that was today. I was
kind of like grappling. It was. I don't know, man. Like, I was like, that's not really.
So I don't know if I fuck with that, man.
That was a little far.
I didn't really understand No, I didn't. I can't comprehend the motivation nor the just like what do you gain from like just baselessly saying something like that to him, just to what make him angry online? Like what?
About
Right.
football because
So
he's
many
a
things
dick
about
about
it that I
football.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah. There are countless opportunities to clown on him without that.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he's just my shithead of the week because he like wants to talk all this shit, and then the minute Rasta and Squeaks and Forrester starts to troll on him, he like blocks them all.
Yeah, what they were doing was funny.
Yeah, they were just trying to make jokes about you, bro, and then here you are being soft as Charmin, and
yeah, you just gotta wear that, man.
Yeah, Peter Bukowski, Peter Bukaki, you're my shithead of the week.
You're our shithead.
Our shithead.
The first unanimous shithead of the week.
You can add me in there too. He can
the
be my
first unanimous shithead of
the week.
5 for
5.
Oh, yeah.
We should just mail all the stupid pennies and nickels and dimes.
Yes.
Fucker in Wisconsin.
The trophy.
Dump it off on him. And by the way, close the mints down too, because they're a waste of money. It costs more money to keep the mints running than they actually produce in terms of currency. So yeah, I just want to double down also on Crying's shithead of the week, because a lot of American shit's pretty dumb, but the currency is right there at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
With that, should we move on to Lions preview?
Let us do it. We've got a lot to talk about here.
Boof, I want to start with you because you look like you're tired and we should let you get some sleep. What are your thoughts on this Lions game?
You know what? I'm rather excited for it. I think it's, I don't know. A lot of people, so there's the whole weird thing with the betting lines, and also it's projected to be a high scoring game. I feel like it's not going to end up being that high scoring of a game, even though both of the defense are bad. Like, some people are like, oh, we're going to put up 40 points. They're going to put up 30 points, do this, do that. I think it'll be like a 28-17 win for the Vikings. And then, Kirk, has Kirk broken 300 yards in a game yet this year?
Yeah, the Bills game. He had like almost 400 game or 400.
I was going to say, I think he'll put up like 300 and a couple touchdowns. I think he'll have one just bonehead interception for some reason.
Yep. Do you have a final score prediction?
I'm going to go 28-20, actually.
All right, so another technical score, one score game.
Typical, man. Yeah, it's he knows who we're playing. He knows who we are. Fuck, you guys are gonna not be pleased with me this week because I'm gonna take Detroit in this game. Because I think that the Lions typically, like, even when they're fucking dog shit, they still in the past found ways to beat us once in Detroit. And actually sometimes at the bank, I think they have been really good at the bank for a while too. They're kind of rolling right now. I think they're feeling themselves a little bit. They almost beat us last time. It is, in my opinion, only a matter of time before one of these kinds of games is a game that we drop. And it feels like a 5-7 Lions team that's clawing their way into a playoff spot right now is the spot that's going to happen for me. So yeah, I got Lions 30-27.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. I'm very sad that you, of all people, are predicting a Lions loss or predicting a Lions win, excuse me, because you're always right. But I have to agree with you. The Lions in the month of November and December included have beaten the Packers. They beat the Bears. They killed the Giants. They lost to the Bills by a field goal, and they just beat the Jaguars 40-14. This team is extremely good right now. They are on fire, and the Vikings have kind of limped their way in here. That, and did you guys see the injury report today?
I did.
Yeah.
There were like 5 DNPs for illness, and it was like Harrison Smith,
Danielle
Hunter, and Patrick Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Plus a couple other guys. That's ass, dude. That is ass. We are going to get shelled if they don't play.
I'm going to say this though. Did you see the Lions DNP list?
No, I didn't.
They had like a majority of their starting offense was DNP. Like they had or not offense. I mean, excuse me, offensive line was DNP. They had Jeff Okuda was still DNP with a concussion. Like, they have some big playmakers out too. So, like,
is Jamal Williams DNP?
I'd like to.
No, but DeAndre Swift was questionable.
Oh my
I'd like
God.
to note that a lot of what I've been hearing regarding our injury report and how, you know, it was obviously there were a lot of people appearing on it. It was kind of a workaround way to get a vet rest day or something, is at least what I heard.
Wednesday,
I heard
right?
about that too.
Okay. So I guess we see what the injury report says tomorrow, but I will say it was nice to see that Darrisaw was limited at practice today. That's going to be huge if we get him back. And Dantzler is projected to maybe play a little bit on Sunday too. I don't know if he's projected to start, but that'll help our secondary too.
That'd be huge.
That's a good point.
Ryan, do you like Cam Dantzler? Crying. Do you like Cam Dantzler?
Oh, I thought you said Brian for a second. I was like, oh my God, who the hell's that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm really hoping that he'll be able to play. I think our defense really needs it. So I don't know. I kind of feel the same as you, Theorist. Just with the illnesses that I'm curious to see what it's going to say tomorrow, if they're playing or not, or if it was just like a workaround thing. But I don't know. I think that the Lions are going to lose the game. I think that they are locked in. I think that they are fighting for their life. But I think after the game that Kirk had last week, I think he's also going to be locked in. And I think that he's going to kind of be trying to prove himself a little bit. And I also think with Hawkinson, I think that he's going to show up, and I think that he's going to want to desperately win against the Lions.
Forgot about the revenge game. That was an angle.
Thank you.
I'm really
Thank you.
I wonder if he's going to air out the playbook. Like, if he'll just, throw all the defensive staff the playbook that the Lions have been running.
Oh, no doubt. And David Blau too.
Oh, I forgot we have David Blau. Yeah, fuck. Okay, we do have an advantage, I guess. I forgot about all that.
I'm so thankful that Crying brought all that stuff up. I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you have more to say? You look like you had more stuff to say.
No, just everybody was waving and I got confused. So.
Yeah, Bryce, you were very excited there.
I was very excited because I too think that, the Lions are playing really well. But I agree with Crying that Kirk does not want to have a repeat of the game last week. And I think we're going to see Big Dick Kirk again. We're going to see him sling the ball. And I think that Dan Campbell is going to have another coaching mistake with his timeouts that he seems to have every game. He's not a good clock manager, and he's only it's his second year, right? He's second year in Detroit.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. And even last year, he was having clock management troubles. And I think that clock management troubles is going to come back and hurt him in this game. I think, if you want my honest opinion, both of these defenses are like 31 and 32 in the league. I think we're going to see a shootout. I think we win by 2 scores this game. It's still going to be a shootout. I know you guys are all looking at me like, no, it's not. But
I had it in a shootout. I just had us losing.
I think it's gonna be like a 38 to like 24 score game. Like, if you want my honest opinion. I don't know.
Days we're gonna get that 2-score win, Bryce, for you.
No, I agree. I agree with Crying. This is gonna be a revenge game for Hawkinson. Or it's gonna be a boom or bust game, the way I look at it for Hawkinson.
Throw a pass. I want Hawkinson to throw a pass.
Throw a pass to Rager, please. If that happens, I will hit the gritty instantly on Sunday and post it on my burner for everybody to see.
The Philly special to Rager.
God.
I've got an idea, guys. Hear me out here. The person who has the worst prediction has to get a punishment from everybody else.
Oh God!
Incorporating that.
Oh God!
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
picked a bad episode to be on.
No, it won't include you. We'll be nice. It won't include you.
It absolutely will.
The guests. So part of this is all of us at the end of the season are going to have our scores aggregated to see who is the best and who is the worst across the season. You are aggregated in with the other guests. So that includes so far Forrester and Rasta.
Okay.
So
how were their predictions? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Okay.
I think they were decent.
Yeah, I think they were all right. They were close. Yeah. I think Rasta only missed by a couple. Rasta was really close, actually.
Rasta was really close. Yeah.
I think he went 30-29 for the Bills game that finished 33-30.
Yeah.
His will be good. His differential will be good. How many we have to figure out too how to aggregate points for or how to apply points for wins, because I want my 10-0 record to be protected.
That's true.
Should we do like 3 points for each win?
We can figure this out.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
We'll figure this out.
We'll have an end of season award and punishment, and then we'll have a weekly thing. Yeah, but crying, that means you may not escape.
Yeah, you may not escape.
Prediction.
I think you're in. I think you're in for this one, crying.
But I think we finally see that 2-score game we've been looking for, and I'm gonna go ballsy here. I think Kirk puts up 400 yards this week with 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I think we see a KJ rushing touchdown this week.
Can I chime in there?
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Oh, you're right.
Which part?
My score doesn't make sense.
400 yards from Kirk Cousins? That is not going to happen, right?
He's had a 400-yard game before.
Yeah. Like when he was like fucking not having an astigmatism.
Listen. I think it's gonna happen. I think I'm on the train with crying that he's like upset with himself about the game he had last week, that he's just gonna go out and ball. And I think with this Lions defense, their secondary is not good. Their D line is like I guess. Like they have Aiden Hutchinson, but he hasn't really done much.
He's bad.
He's fraudulent. He's so fraudulent.
And I can't even tell you one of their linebackers. Like their only players on defense I can tell you are Aiden Hutchinson and Jeff Okudah. And the guy, I don't trust this defense to stop anything this week, because in Minnesota, what did they have to do? They had to hold JJ and Thielen the whole game because they know they would get burnt. I'm telling you guys are giving me these crazy looks. I think Kirk is going to put up a 400-yard game.
Here's the problem for it is that I don't know if it's possible with the way the defense plays, because they stay on the field so fucking long that the game runs out of time for Kirk to throw for that many yards. Like it's like we only have the ball for 10 minutes. Like
but we're not including that Jared Goff is going to throw like 4 picks.
Jared Goff has been unstoppable.
He has been unstoppable.
He's going to throw for 350 yards.
Yeah, Jared Goff is going to embarrass us. I'm not excited for that.
I just feel offended. I'm getting shit on right here. I'm trying to be like positive here, and everybody's like, no, Kirk Cousins is an old man. He can't throw 400 yards.
I appreciate the optimism. I really do. But 400 yards and a KJ touchdown and a TJ Hawkinson throw to Rager and a 2-score victory in Detroit when the spread is like Lions by a field goal.
I don't care.
You're really stretching it here, buddy.
You're right. I stretch it as far as I can. I don't really care. But one of these last few games, it might be the Colts. I forgot we have the Colts game coming up. So that might be
I can see it there.
That might be the game where Kirk has a big game. I completely forgot about the Colts next week. So I'm gonna backtrack here.
No.
You really sent it. It's hard to.
No. He's still gonna throw 400 yards.
Okay.
No, never.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, Slime. I think we'll have a big Kirko moment for sure, but I don't know about 400. But I hope you're right. I really hope.
Okay. If we have a big Kirko game, that's all I'm asking for. But 400 would be the icing on top. But
yeah, well, I like that though. A combination, of like, how about this? Maybe Bryce, could I as a mediator tempt you with 300 yards and 2 Jalen Reagor touchdowns?
Okay,
and no KJ Osborne touchdowns.
No KJ Osborne touchdowns, but give me
2
okay.
Reagor touchdowns and 300 yards.
315 with 2 Reagor touchdowns. 315, like that's not too much to ask. I don't really think
275 final offer.
275 and 2 Reagor touchdowns. I'll take
250,
it.
280 yards, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Deal.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it because I will say Kirk is going to have one of his bonehead moments this game where he just like doesn't see a defender and just lobs it up.
Oh yeah, we're playing. Right.
But no, I will accept your final offer, Slime. 275 and 2 Reagor touchdowns.
The deal.
But I do have a question. Does it have to be 2 passing touchdowns, or can Reagor have a return touchdown?
Anytime touchdowns.
Anytime touchdowns? Okay. Yeah, because I honestly, Rager's kind of been looking better on his returns. So I think he's going to bust out. Maybe not a touchdown, but a long return this week.
I hope so. I want what's best for Jalen, dude. He's fucking really cool.
Yeah.
He always,
he's so fun.
He also guaranteed us a win this week. So yeah. I'm about to get, I deserve all the shit if we lose. But I'm blaming it on Jalen Reagor because he's the one who talked all the shit.
You're taking 100% of the heat if they do lose for comment, by the way.
Yeah, if they do lose, it's not against me, but if they win, I'm taking all the credit. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair enough.
That's fair.
I'm like a meteorologist. I can tell you what happened, but if it doesn't happen, it's not my fault. But if it does happen, I can tell you I was
right. See, and that's funny because the meteorologists in Vancouver were actually going to be my original shithead of the week. So
really?
Yeah, that's right.
What'd they do this time? Rotten sons of guns.
It just didn't snow at all. They said it was going to be a huge blizzard. Didn't snow.
It was supposed to be a winter wonderland, and you ended up with a fall hellscape.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. I'm sorry to hear.
Okay, let's get everyone's final score just all together right now. I know we've given some. Bryce, you go first.
I'm gonna go 35-28 or 35-24. 35-24.
Vikings win.
35-24.
Gotcha. Crying.
I'm gonna go close to Bryce's, but I'll say 30-24 Vikings. Still 1 point game.
Got it.
1 score game.
Yeah.
Boof, what you got?
28-20 Vikings.
Slime.
30-27 Detroit Lions. Motor City Kitties.
I'll bring it home with a 31-25 Detroit Lions victory.
I like that call.
I like is that a score-gami? Are you going for a score-gami there?
No, that's happened plenty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That only takes like a missed extra point and a couple of field goals.
That's true. See, I'm not good at math, so I can't add up quickly in my head. So sometimes when I throw out these scores, I'm like, is that even a possible football score? So
yeah. That's why I didn't do fucking 27-22 last week.
Even though it totally was the score. Although the fucking Browns and Houston's game was like 5-0 at one point.
Yeah, that's goofy as hell too. That's a fucking baseball score.
I want to see a 4-2 score at some point. Once in my life.
Awesome.
Once in my life. That's like an NHL score.
Mike Zimmer versus Mike Zimmer team.
Speaking
the
of Zimmer,
never ended.
Did you hear where Zimmer is headed?
Did you hear that reports
Did
you hear reports came out that said no, he isn't?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's chilling at the ranch.
Whoa, what?
Yeah,
I heard
it leaked that he was gonna take that job, but then more reports came out that said, hell no, he isn't.
No, I was looking forward to seeing him work with Dion, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Locke Timini and Matthias also were extremely hype about that, but
yeah.
Alas.
Well, Dion going to Boulder is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
The videos coming out of there are hilarious. I love him.
I love primetime. He's so fun.
Well, I feel like we covered a lot today. Any final thoughts on the Detroit Lions game from anybody?
Like I said, I think we're going to see a big Kirko game.
Dan Campbell gets fired after this season and is replaced with Sean Payton. Lamar Jackson goes to Detroit.
I hate you.
I would love that.
That would.
I wouldn't.
That would actually put us in hell. No, that's going to put us in hell. It's going to happen, and it's going to put us in hell for the next 5 years.
Why would you want to? Why would you want to see that? That's going to be absolute. Our defense is bad now. Imagine trying to guard fucking Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson twice a year.
It would be hilarious. For one, the content would be unprecedented,
unreal.
But also
that would be unreal.
Iron sharpens iron. Like pressure makes diamonds. That's all I'll say. And we got that going on. Will Anderson is going to be a Chicago Bear next season. We got to get used to this division about to kick our ass. So
that's true.
You say right
so
now.
Fraudulent, and I love it.
No, they're gonna trade the pick.
No, they're not. It's Will Anderson, dude.
They're gonna trade it to the Lions to get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
Lions don't have a higher pick though. It's the Texans.
Right. So I'm saying
the Bears.
That,
they have second overall.
I'm saying the Lions are going to trade their pick to the Bears to jump up to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, whichever one doesn't go to the Texans.
Oh no, they're getting Lamar. I totally believe it.
But isn't
one pick right now?
The Texans do, don't they?
Texans have it, and then the Bears have the 2.
Where do the Rams sit? Because the Lions have the Rams pick.
That's like 5th, I think, right now.
Yeah, they're gonna have some good picks.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, so they would just do a pick swap.
They're just gonna draft another Aiden Hutchinson.
True.
See, the thing is, we can't say that the Lions finessed because the Rams got everything they wanted out of the trade.
That's
they
true.
Were all in on that 1 year. So,
but it was also, such a good trade for the Lions to make.
Most win-win trade in the history of the NFL since the Justin trade.
Also, can we talk about how the fucking Eagles are like Super Bowl contenders and still have a top 10 pick?
Yeah, if you can ever get first overall or first round picks in future drafts, always take him. Always take him.
Yeah.
Great move by Howie, as he always does. Fuck you, Howie.
Eric Kendricks, soon.
Yeah.
You, my friend, will be traded for a 3rd round pick in the 2023 NFL draft.
Yeah, Eric Kendricks, you are a Seattle Seahawk.
We're cutting him. He's going to the Lions with Sean Payton and Lamar, and he's going to have a resurgent year, and he's going to kill us.
Oh, I'm just going to Ted Kaczynski this in the forest and never be seen again.
I thought Lamar was. Can't the Ravens just place a franchise tag on him?
They can't afford that. That franchise tag's too high.
So
they'll long term extend him. They have to. They have no choice.
Yeah.
Lamar's
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with Kirk though?
Trade him to the
don't
Colts.
care.
First.
No, we're gonna. Kirk is a Colt next year.
For 2 firsts.
Send him back to Bible camp.
Yeah, Kirk, you are a youth group leader.
No, Kirk. What's going to happen is it's not going to be Detroit that signs Lamar. It's going to be the Vikings. He's going to stay in purple. We're going to trade Kirk for 2 first-round picks, a future first for next year, and the Colts for this year. And he's going to do the Phillip Rivers thing where he's really bad in Indianapolis and then retires.
Actually, no, he's a New York Jet. Kirk's a Jet.
Kirk sounds like a Jet to me.
He's
going to go to the Jets before us.
That would make sense. You remember they were in competition for him?
Yeah.
And he finessed them to get us to pay more.
Yep. And their offensive coordinator is a Shanahan disciple.
Mm-hmm. And they've got a really good defense. They just need a QB.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a perfect transition. And then he can retire and we can ship him off to Vancouver, some cabin somewhere.
He can play for the BC Lions.
Yeah.
Hey, we should all go to a CFL game. Because I watched some of their highlights. I saw a play where I was so confused. It looked like they were going for an extra point, and then they just kept throwing the ball, and then a team scored. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? CFL rules are weird.
They are a little different, but so is Canada. So
we'll have to caravan out there to visit you sometime. We don't have to make you
definitely.
visit.
100%.
Be fun. I'd love to see it. Vancouver's been at the top of my list for a long time.
wearing a little Vancouver hoodie here with the beautiful mountains.
Oh yeah. Rock on. Rock on. I love how it's just like literally in a mountain valley. Anyways, yeah, I geek about it. I'd love to go. If you boys are down to roadie it.
Absolutely.
I'll roadie it.
Oh yeah.
Well, Fufu North. Well, I guess not really.
Fufu
Anyways, that about does it for us at Purple Fufu. This has been a marathon of an episode, and we thank you very, very much for sticking through the whole way with us. Crying, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It was a really fun time.
Absolutely. We'll have to have you on in the future.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right. With that does it for episode 11 of Purple Fufu. So we'll see you next week.
Much to all of our listeners for tuning in. I'm going to keep talking over here.
Do it. Let's go.
Wait. Okay. We talked about this and I almost forgot about it. I'm looking for a new jersey here. We're going to leave it up to the listeners here and we'll figure out how we're going to do this.
It'll go out on Twitter.
But my two choices here are between Jalen Reagor and TJ Hawkinson. I know I should keep it for the brand for Jalen Reagor, but I'm leaving it up to the listeners. Or if there's a different one, we're going to give it to 3 options: Christian Darrisaw, TJ Hawkinson, or Jalen Reagor. You guys, those are my 3 options for my next jersey, and I'm leaving it up for you guys. So
yeah, we'll put out a Twitter poll for that one. That'll be very important.
Very important.
All right. Thanks again, everyone. Let's go Vikings. Skol.
Let's go. Skol.